Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive deep into the explosive developments set to unfold on Wednesday, September 17th, where tensions boil over in Port Charles with Nina Reeves unleashing her fury on Willow Tate, Jason Morgan stepping up with a clever strategy for Britt Westburn's comeback, and Molly Lansing Davis embarking on a determined hunt for her missing father, Rick Lansing. Let's kick things off with the shocking ripple effects of Britt Westburn's miraculous return from the dead. Lulu Spencer, ever the bearer of dramatic tidings, will waste no time in sharing this bombshell with her close confidant, Brooklyn Quartermain. As they huddle together, perhaps over a tense coffee at the Metro Court, Lulu will express her bewilderment about what this resurrection means for everyone involved. Imagine the whirlwind of emotions, relief mixed with suspicion as they ponder how Britt's presence could upend old alliances and reignite forgotten rivalries. Brooklyn, with her sharp Quartermain instincts, might speculate on the potential fallout for the hospital staff, or even the lingering shadows of Britt's past schemes. This conversation isn't just idle gossip. It's a pivotal moment that sets the stage for broader chaos in Port Charles, reminding viewers how one person's return can unravel the fragile threads of normalcy that characters have painstakingly woven. Meanwhile, Jason Morgan emerges as the steadfast rock for Britt in her hour of doubt. Fresh off her unexpected revival, Britt is grappling with second thoughts about stepping back into the spotlight of Port Charles' life. She might confide in Jason about the eerie comfort she found in her presumed death, away from the judgments and dangers that once plagued her. But Jason, true to his protective nature, isn't about to let her spiral into regret. He'll unveil a thoughtful plan to ease her transition, perhaps suggesting a discreet safe house on the outskirts of town, complete with forged documents to shield her from prying eyes. To sweeten the deal, Jason could dip into his network of underground contacts to secure her some startup funds to rebuild her medical career or even pursue a fresh start elsewhere if needed. Britt, initially resistant, may find herself swayed by his unwavering insistence, leading to a budding closeness born from gratitude and shared secrets. This dynamic adds a layer of intrigue, hinting at potential romantic sparks or deeper loyalties that could complicate Jason's already tangled web of relationships. Shifting gears to the web of deception surrounding Ava Jerome and Christina Corinthos Davis. Ava will exude confidence as she reassures Christina that their risky plot is on track for success. Specifically, Ava predicts that once Elizabeth Baldwin has a heart-to-heart with Willow Tate, Elizabeth will sever all ties with Rick Lansing, viewing him as toxic baggage. Picture Ava with her signature sly smile, painting a vivid picture of how this manipulation will play out flawlessly, perhaps drawing from her own history of cunning maneuvers to bolster her argument. However, Christina might not share that optimism, her Corinthos blood making her wary of loose ends. This doubt could stem from subtle clues she's picked up, like inconsistencies in their cover story, adding a tense undercurrent to their alliance. As they whisper in a dimly lit corner of the Jerome Gallery, viewers will sense the fragility of their scheme, wondering if one wrong move could expose everything. Enter Molly Lansing Davis, whose growing suspicions about her father's abrupt disappearance will drive much of the episode's investigative drama. Rick's so-called digital detox retreat smells fishy to Molly, especially since it came out of nowhere, leaving her with a barrage of unanswered questions. In a heartfelt meeting with Elizabeth Baldwin, perhaps at the hospital lounge, where old family ties feel both comforting and strained, Molly will probe for any word from Rick. Has he called? Sent a postcard? Her search intensifies as she digs into the details of this mysterious getaway, maybe even enlisting a private investigator or scouring online forums for clues about similar retreats. Of course, devoted fans know the grim truth. Rick is no willing participant in any wellness escape. He's trapped in a dingy basement, courtesy of Alexis Davis, Ava, and Christina's desperate bid to keep their secrets buried. This captivity, shrouded in shadows and muffled pleas, ensures Molly's quest hits dead ends for now, building suspense as she inches closer to the horrifying reality. To cope with the frustration, Molly might open up to Elizabeth about her budding feelings for Cody Bell, exploring the butterflies and uncertainties of new romance amidst family turmoil. On a parallel note, Cody himself receives an encouraging nudge from Christina in a separate scene, where she boosts his confidence with words of wisdom drawn from her own resilient experiences. The episode also spotlights Lucas Jones, who turns to Ava for a confidential chat that could stir up even more complications. With Britt's return buzzing through town, Lucas might voice concerns about how this affects his ex, Brad Cooper, potentially pulling Brad back into the fray with his manipulative tendencies. Imagine Lucas reflecting on their turbulent history with betrayals, the custody battles over Wiley, and worrying that Britt's influence could reignite old flames or feuds. Ava, ever the empathetic listener with her own scars from love and loss, might offer sage advice, perhaps hinting at ways to navigate the emotional minefield while protecting his heart and his family. Adding to the mix of unease, young characters Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Joe Palmieri are in for some disturbing revelations. These updates could tie directly to a mysterious shipment orchestrated by Professor Henry Hank Dalton, whose academic pursuits often veer into the shadowy side. Speculation abounds that an impending accident involving this cargo may be a lab mishap, or a transport gone awry will cascade into major drama, particularly resurrecting echoes of Nathan West's tragic legacy. As Emma and Joe process this news, perhaps during a casual hangout at Kelly's diner, their reactions could range from wide-eyed fear to determined curiosity, foreshadowing how this incident might draw in other beloved characters and unearth long-buried Port Charles secrets. Finally, the powder keg explodes with Nina Reeves confronting Willow Tate in a heated showdown that's sure to leave jaws on the floor. Willow, emboldened by recent events, will assert her authority, acting as if she's finally in control of her destiny. But Nina, fueled by a mother's protective rage and sharp intuition, won't hold back. She'll thunderously declare that the true puppet master remains Drew Kane, pulling strings from the shadows to dictate Willow's every move. Nina might elaborate with pointed examples from their shared past moments, where Drew's charm masked his manipulation, urging Willow to wake up and reclaim her independence. This clash, set against the backdrop of a Quartermaine mansion or a public venue for maximum drama, underscores the ongoing battle for Willow's loyalty and autonomy, promising viewers a raw display of emotions that could shift family dynamics irreversibly. As these storylines intertwine, Wednesday's episode of General Hospital is poised to deliver non-stop thrills, heartfelt confessions, and game-changing twists. From Britt's tentative steps back into society to Molly's relentless pursuit of truth, every thread weaves a tapestry of suspense that's classic GH. Next, we will explore the heartbreaking yet scheming twists surrounding Monica Quartermaine's impending departure from Port Charles, as whispers of her fate loom large amid Drew Kane's ruthless ambitions. For the iconic Quartermaine mansion, the soap opera world is bracing for a profound loss, with Monica Quartermaine's storyline heading toward a poignant conclusion, following the real-life passing of her longtime portrayer in January. While General Hospital has yet to weave this tragedy into its narrative fabric, insiders suggest the moment is fast approaching, potentially unfolding in a wave of emotional episodes that honor Monica's enduring legacy. As the family's matriarch, picture the Quartermaine estate shrouded in mourning, with floral tributes piling up at the gates and characters reflecting on decades of her fierce leadership through medical crises and family feuds. This development isn't just a farewell, it could serve as a catalyst for seismic shifts in power dynamics, forcing the Quartermaines to confront their vulnerabilities, without Monica's steady hand guiding them through storms of betrayal and reconciliation. In the midst of this somber anticipation, Drew Kane lies in recovery at General Hospital after a brutal shooting, his body mending, but his manipulative spirit as sharp as ever. Far from humbled by his brush with death, Drew emerges more calculating, his eyes set on exploiting any weakness in the Quartermaine armor. Envision him in his hospital bed, plotting under the guise of vulnerability, perhaps charming nurses with his trademark grin while secretly mapping out his next power grab. His conniving nature, honed through years of identity swaps and corporate battles, positions him perfectly to strike when the family is at its most fragile, turning grief into an opportunity for personal gain that could redefine alliances across Port Charles. At the heart of Drew's potential scheme lies the legendary Quartermaine mansion, a sprawling symbol of legacy and luxury that Monica has called her own for generations. Fans will recall the oft-quoted line, "It's Monica's house, Alan gave it to her," echoed by characters like the formidable Tracy Quartermaine during heated family disputes. This gift from her late husband Alan has stood as a testament to their enduring bond, transforming the estate into more than bricks and mortar. It's a fortress of memories, from lavish parties to whispered conspiracies in its opulent halls. As Monica's will comes into play, the question of inheritance ignites speculation. Will she pass the keys to her steadfast son Jason Morgan, whose quiet strength mirrors her own resilience, or perhaps to her grandson Michael Corinthos, whose business acumen could preserve the property's prestige. Inventive twists might see her dividing it between them, ensuring joint stewardship that fosters unexpected family unity amid the chaos. Yet, Monica's forward-thinking spirit could lead her to champion a female successor, eyeing Olivia Quartermaine as the ideal guardian to maintain the home's grandeur and traditions. Olivia, with her no-nonsense flair and deep ties to the clan through marriage, might step into the role with gusto, organizing charity galas in the ballroom or revitalizing the gardens. As a nod to Monica's love for elegance, such a choice would undoubtedly ruffle feathers, particularly Tracy's, who might view it as an affront to her own status, sparking fiery confrontations over afternoon tea where accusations fly about favoritism and forgotten loyalties. This invented layer adds depth to the inheritance drama, highlighting how Monica's final wishes could empower overlooked voices, while exposing long-simmering resentments within the Quartermaine fold. Enter Drew Kane, whose sense of entitlement burns brightly, convincing him he has a legitimate stake in the mansion's future. Fresh from his hospital ordeal, Drew might launch a bold challenge to Monica's will, arguing through slick lawyers that his Quartermaine bloodline eats pied its complicated ridge and entitles him to a share. Imagine him poring over dusty legal documents in a dimly lit office, uncovering loopholes that tie his identity as the real Drew to the family's assets, all while masking his greed as a quest for justice. This move wouldn't just be about property. It could symbolize Drew's deeper hunger for validation, pushing him to dismantle the very foundations Monica built, and setting the stage for courtroom battles that drag in expert witnesses and hidden family skeletons. Drew's machinations take a darker turn as he devises an elaborate plan to seize control of the Quartermaine mansion post Monica's passing. Leveraging his growing influence in Port Charles circles, he could fabricate a crisis by claiming the estate encroaches on disputed land boundaries, demanding an immediate evacuation under threat of demolition. Picture the family gathered in the living room, stunned as Drew presents forged surveys and official notices, his voice dripping with false concern while he insists the structure violates zoning laws established decades ago. Tracy and the others, fueled by indignation, would rally with counter-arguments, perhaps hiring their own investigators to debunk his claims, turning the mansion into a battleground of affidavits and heated debates that echo through its marble corridors. The deception deepens with Drew's underhanded alliance with the Port Charles Land Trust, a shadowy entity he manipulates to declare the mansion's land as their long-overlooked property, necessitating its swift bulldozing. In this invented scenario, Drew might bribe officials or exploit bureaucratic red tape, presenting the family with eviction notices amid their grief, all while positioning himself as the unlikely savior. The Quartermaines, led by Tracy's sharp tongue and Ned's strategic mind, wouldn't capitulate easily. He could stage protests or seek injunctions, drawing media attention that exposes Drew's tactics to the public eye. This ploy isn't mere opportunism. It's a calculated strike at the heart of their security, forcing them to confront how vulnerable their empire truly is without Monica's protective oversight. Ultimately, Drew's scheme culminates in triumph as he acquires the Quartermaine mansion from the Port Charles Land Trust, swooping in with a dramatic announcement that he's preserved the historic home from destruction. The family, initially exhaling in collective relief, perhaps toasting with champagne in the foyer, would be shattered when Drew reveals his sole ownership, demanding they vacate immediately. Envision the chaos: Ned slamming doors, Olivia packing heirlooms with tear-streaked cheeks, and Jason standing stoically, plotting quiet revenge. Drew, reveling in his victory, declares his intention to transform the estate into a family haven for raising Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos alongside Willow Tate, painting a picture of idyllic domesticity that masks his vengeful motives. This bold move could include renovations like adding a modern nursery or a private gym, symbolizing his erasure of the old Quartermaine guard. The fallout promises explosive confrontations, with the entire family, particularly Michael Corinthos, seething with rage and swearing to dismantle Drew's newfound empire at any cost. Michael's fury might manifest in corporate sabotage or legal warfare, rallying allies like Carly Spencer to expose Drew's deceptions in boardrooms and beyond. Tracy could unleash her network of influential contacts, while Jason's underworld ties hint at more clandestine countermeasures, turning Port Charles into a powder keg of retribution. This vendetta isn't just about real estate. It's a clash of egos and legacies, where Drew's arrogance could either solidify his power or lead to his dramatic downfall, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. What are your thoughts on this brewing storm? Do you believe Drew will dare to snatch the Quartermain mansion from under the family's nose? Could his cunning plot actually succeed in the end? And if he does claim ownership, will he truly evict everyone and reshape the estate into his personal domain? Next, we will uncover the brewing storm of secrets and betrayals as Carly Spencer edges closer to discovering Jocelyn Jax's covert involvement with the WSB, along with the shocking fact that her trusted ally Jason Morgan has been concealing it all along. The tangled web of intrigue in Port Charles is about to unravel dramatically, with Carly Spencer poised to stumble upon the explosive truth about her daughter Jocelyn Jax's recruitment into the World Security Bureau by none other than her own boyfriend, Jack Brennan. This risky enlistment has thrust Jocelyn into perilous missions, creating a powder keg of deception that's already leaking to too many ears around town. Envision Carly, ever the fierce protector, piecing together clues in her bustling Metro Court office, her intuition sharpening as whispers from various corners, perhaps a overheard conversation at Kelly's diner, or a suspicious glance from a family friend begin to form a clearer picture. The fallout promises to be catastrophic, shaking the foundations of her relationships and exposing layers of manipulation that have been simmering beneath the surface for weeks. At the core of this mess is the sheer number of insiders now privy to Jocelyn's double life, and Brennan's hand in orchestrating it, making it inevitable that Carly will soon be clued in, unleashing a torrent of fury and heartbreak. Brennan, as Carly's romantic partner, stands to lose everything when his duplicity comes to light, potentially shattering their budding romance amid accusations of endangering her child for shadowy agency agendas. Yet, the deeper wound might come from Jason Morgan, Carly's lifelong confidant, and the one person she relies on without question. His silence on the matter could feel like the ultimate betrayal, eroding the unbreakable bond they've forged through countless crises. Imagine Carly confronting this duality, the sting of a lover's lies, compounded by a best friend's omission, leaving her questioning loyalties in a town where trust is as fragile as a house of cards. To fully grasp the impending chaos, let's step back to the high-stakes events in Croatia during the week of September 8th to 12th, where Jason Morgan heroically intervened to rescue Jocelyn from imminent danger at the luxurious, yet treacherous Five Poppies resort. Unbeknownst to Jason at the outset, Jocelyn was entangled in a covert operation tied to his own mission to extract Dr. Britt Westburn from harm's way, turning what could have been a solo endeavor into a life-saving alliance. Jason, with his unyielding code of honor, swooped in like a guardian shadow, perhaps dodging bullets and navigating hidden passages to ensure her safety, reinforcing his role as the perpetual savior in Jocelyn's world. This invented detail of a narrow escape through foggy resort grounds, with Jason using his tactical expertise to outmaneuver armed guards, underscores the depth of their connection and sets the stage for the secrets that followed. Jason's legendary loyalty means that once he vows to keep a confidence, it's locked away tighter than a vault in the Quartermain mansion, a trait that everyone in his circle respects and relies upon. Jocelyn, now a grown woman charting her own perilous path, exercised her right to privacy by swearing Jason to secrecy about her WSB ties, perhaps sealing the pact with a heartfelt plea during a quiet debrief on the flight home. This promise aligns with Jason's protective instincts, viewing Jocelyn not just as a friend but as family, and honoring her autonomy in a world where overbearing parents like Carly often blur boundaries. However, this steadfast silence adds invented layers of internal conflict for Jason, who might wrestle with memories of his own youthful rebellions, weighing the value of independence against the potential dangers lurking in Jocelyn's new shadowy profession. The complexity intensifies with Jason's moral quandary. While Carly has no inherent claim to every detail of her adult daughter's choices, Brennan's involvement as her partner and his blatant dishonesty about recruiting Jocelyn demands transparency that Jason is withholding. Shouldn't Carly be informed when her boyfriend's actions directly imperil her child, especially in a high-risk arena like international espionage? This dilemma could manifest in Jason's quiet moments alone, perhaps staring out over the Port Charles harbor, pondering how his silence might prevent greater harm or spark unnecessary family rifts. Adding a fresh element, Jason might even consult an old ally like Spinelli for encrypted advice, grappling with the ethics of secrecy versus safeguarding those he loves, all while knowing the truth could empower Carly to intervene before disaster strikes. When the revelations hit, Carly will grapple with a profound sense of humiliation and betrayal, feeling like the last to know in a town where she's accustomed to being the epicenter of information. Her passion for staying ahead of every scandal and secret will make this exclusion feel like a personal attack, especially within her own household and romance. Envision her piecing it together. The embarrassment of realizing Brennan played her for a fool, recruiting Jocelyn behind her back while whispering sweet nothings, leaving Carly to question every intimate moment they shared. This deception extends to her own manipulation, as Carly reflects on how she might have unknowingly enabled it, through her distractions with hotel business or family dramas, amplifying her rage into a force that could reshape her relationships overnight. Despite the ethical tightrope, Jason is likely to maintain his vow of silence regarding Jocelyn's secret, prioritizing his goddaughter's trust above all. Throughout Carly's entanglement with Brennan, Jason has issued subtle warnings about the man's dubious motives, perhaps during late-night talks at her place where he highlighted red flags, like Brennan's evasive answers or mysterious absences. Why, then, should Jason bear the blame for not exposing what he's learned, especially when he's not one to gloat with an "I told you so"? This stance preserves Jocelyn's confidence in him, ensuring she'll seek his aid in future pearls. Imagine Jason envisioning scenarios where Jocelyn, cornered in a foreign safe house, dials him first because she knows her secret is safe, turning his discretion into a lifeline. Yet, as any Port Charles veteran knows, secrets have a short shelf life in this gossip-fueled town, and Carly's discovery of Jocelyn's WSB role coupled with Jason's complicity in the cover-up will trigger an epic emotional eruption. The build-up could include tense family dinners where Carly senses undercurrents of unease, her maternal radar pinging on Jocelyn's unusual fatigue or cryptic phone calls. This meltdown might unfold in a public spectacle, with Carly's voice echoing through the corridors of General Hospital as she unleashes pent-up fury, drawing in bystanders and amplifying the drama to soap opera proportions. This week marks a crucial turning point in the narrative, with previews teasing a charged showdown between Carly and Jason that hints at her growing suspicion he's withholding vital information about one of her children. In this confrontation, perhaps set against the backdrop of a stormy evening at the docks, Jason will deftly evade her probing questions, his stoic demeanor only fueling her frustration, a tactical error that seals the secret's fate as it bursts forth soon after. Adding an inventive twist, Jason might deflect with vague reassurances about family safety, but his hesitation could plant seeds of doubt that Carly nurtures into full-blown investigation. The truth could surface in myriad dramatic ways, such as Carly accidentally eavesdropping on Brennan's urgent phone call coordinating a mission, or her barging into the WSB's discreet Port Charles headquarters where she overhears Jocelyn, Agent Vaughn, and Brennan debating strategy details. Picture the scene. Carly, fueled by a hunch, tails Jocelyn to the nondescript building, her heart pounding as snippets of conversation about high-stakes ops filter through a cracked door, confirming her worst fears in a rush of adrenaline. Alternatively, a candid discussion between Anna Devane and Jason about the recruitment risks might be overheard by Carly during a chance encounter at the police station, laying bare every sordid detail and igniting her wrath. Furthermore, with Britt Westburn also in the loop about Jocelyn's involvement and harboring residual grudges against Carly from past clashes, stage is set for explosive confrontations that place Carly squarely in the drama's crosshairs. Britt might drop hints during a tense hospital run-in, her words laced with sarcasm that tip Carly off, escalating old rivalries into fresh battles. This web of knowledge ensures the revelations cascade rapidly, pulling in more characters and heightening the stakes as Carly navigates betrayal from multiple fronts, promising viewers a roller coaster of emotions and alliances tested to their limits. What do you think will happen when Carly uncovers this massive secret? Will her relationships with Brennan and Jason survive the fallout? Share your thoughts in the comments, and keep watching General Hospital for all the juicy developments.